from unknown person to a known person, and his reliability coefficient will be 75 because of his success in his narration. And now another kind of narration, dissimilar narration by two unknown persons. Here's the source, and X comes us with a narration, and Y comes us with a narration. I named him Y as an indicate to his opposite narration regarding X. Their narrations is different. They are not the similar narration. Maybe the location is different, or one of them changed the event, either partly or wholly. So X comes as with X form of report, and Y comes as with a Y form of the report, and they are contradicting each other. And both of them is unknown person. We are talking about unknown persons. What's the probability table about this kind of narration? In the first alternative, we assume X1T and Y1T, but it's not a valid alternative. Why? Because they are not narrating similar narration. Both of them cannot T. If they are talking about the same event, one of them says there was an accident, 4 men died, and the other one says that there was an accident, and he says that 10 people died. So either 4 true or 10 true. Which one is true? They are contradicting each other. Both of them cannot be true at the same time. So we name this alternative as theta. Theta is not a probable alternative. So we will neglect this probability. This is not a valid alternative. The second probability, X1 is T, Y1 is F, and the result, this probability means form X is true, meaning X1 comes us with true knowledge, and Y1 comes us with false knowledge. Whatever X1 said is true, and Y1 is changing the event. And at the third probability, X1 is F, Y1 is T. This probability, or this alternative, is the opposite of the second, and this time form Y is true and form X is false. The last probability, X1 is false, Y1 is false, phi. It means both of them's action is in an inaccurate way, false, and none of the reports is true. The knowledge which comes from X1 is false, and Y1 is false too. Both forms are false. So in this case there is 3 valid alternatives, and according to these 3 valid alternatives, 1/3 probability is form X is true, and 1/3 probability form Y is true, and 1/3 probability says that both of them is false. So the percentage of success is 33% for each of them. If an unknown person comes us with such a narration, and another unknown person says different thing, do not support him, then his level decrease. When he was a unknown person, we could think about him that his narration may be 50-50 true or false. But after this experience, we will consider about him that his percentage or his reliability coefficient is lesser than 50. It's about 33. If he reports all the time in this way, he will not be able to increase his percentage or his reliability coefficient more than 33%. And another kind of transmission, narration, similar narration by three unknown persons. If they are three, x1, x2, x3, all of them unknown persons, it means that x1 came to us with a narration, and after him x2, he is unknown person, also came with the similar narration, and x3 came to us with the similar narration too. So both of them supporting his narration, supporting the narration of x1. Or you can say x1 and x2, both of them supporting the narration of x3. They are supporting each other. So let's look at the probability table. There is 8 probabilities, 8 alternatives in this condition. At the first one, x1, x2, x3, all of them t, and the result is true, the knowledge is true as a consequence of the definition. And at the second probability, x1, x2 are t, but x3 is f, and the result is true depending on x1 and x2. And x3, how he is saying the similar thing while his action is false, while his action is inaccurate. Remember what I said in the second kind of narration, because he is relating a thing that he heard from somebody else, and that is a sound report, and he's not changing it, and he's relating the report as if he had heard, but claiming that he witnessed the event. So his action is F, his action is false, but his knowledge is true. Because these 3 people, we assume that they are coming to us with similar narration, saying the same thing. At the third probability, x1t, x2f, x3t, the result is 3. If at least there is one t in the option, the result will come to true, because think about 10 people saying the similar thing about an event. If one of them relating the event in an accordance with what occurred, then the knowledge is true. The 9 people, although they are doing an inaccurate narration, but at least one of them is true. If he does an accurate narration, it means the report is true. This is the dominant effect of the accurate narration. So the inaccurate narration is passive. At the first probability, x1f, x2t, x3t, the result is already true. and at the fifth probability x1t, x2f, x3f, the knowledge is true depending on x1. In the sixth probability, x1f, x2f, x3t, the result, the knowledge is true depending on x3. In the seventh probability, x1 is phi, x2 is t, x3 is f. So the knowledge is true depending on x2. At the last alternative, the eighth probability, x1f, x2f, x3f, there is no any sound or a reason to assume the report as a true. So x1 false, x2 false, x3 false. The knowledge most likely is false. So in this probability table, there is 8 valid options, alternatives. 7 of them shows that the knowledge is true. Only 1 of them shows that the knowledge is false. So 1/8 percentage of probability says the knowledge is false, but 7/8 probability shows that the knowledge is true. So if somebody comes us with a narration and to another unknown persons like him if they support him in his narration, then it means his percentage of success that it's 87%. So if an unknown person, which unknown person means that his reliability or coefficient is 50%, if he do a narration like this, he will increase his reliability coefficient to 87%. Dissimilar narration by 3 unknown persons, and in this kind of narration, let's assume x1 unknown narrator narrates an event, and x2 narrates an event, unknown person he is, narrates an event with the same form like him, supports him, but y1, he is another unknown person, relates the same event but in contradiction with the both. So he do not support them, he denies them by his narration. So x1 came to us with a narration, but x2 supported him, he's an unknown person too. y1 denied him. What will happen in this kind of narration? What is the probability table about such a narration? Let's look at it in another lesson. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.